greyhound racing industry fights for survival. And Scouts premiere a stage spectacular with a twist at Canberra Grammar School. Good evening, I'm Jeff Phillips. Also tonight, an important new addition to Canberra Airport's growing art collection. Those stories in a moment, but first tonight, 3 people are lucky to have escaped serious injury after their car flipped on the Majura Parkway this afternoon. Crews raced to the scene near Tambreach Street in Majura just after 2 o'clock. When emergency services arrived, they found the driver and passengers had freed themselves from the wreckage. Paramedics assessed the 3 at the scene for minor injuries. With the vote count still underway, the Greens ACT candidate today conceded defeat. It comes as the coalition says it's now confident it will form government.
Nearly a week on from polling day, the Electoral Commission is still poring over ballot papers. And though the count of ACT votes is still underway, today the Greens candidate bowed out.
We've still got obviously the below the line voting to go, and we expect to perform strongly in that. But I think based on the position that we're in, it doesn't look like we'll be able to get a position in the Senate this time.
Ms Hobbs's concession firms incumbent Labor Senator Katie Gallagher and Canberra Liberal Senator Zed Seselja as the ACT's representatives in the upper house. With the lower house Labor incumbents also safe in their seats, the territory's representation in the parliament remains unchanged. But the coalition says it's confident it will return to government.
Well, I think it's looking very, very good. And really now it's probably just a matter of exactly how many seats we will have. I would predict we will probably get 76 seats, or possibly 77, and obviously that's a majority in our own right.
Senator Seselja says he's proud of his campaign.
The Greens have gone backwards significantly at the last 2 elections here in the ACT, and with a primary vote of 15%, you simply can't expect to get anywhere near a Senate seat. So, look, I'm very pleased with our vote getting a swing to us against a national swing of around 3%.
However, Ms Hobbs says she and the Greens aren't finished in politics in the ACT and has high hopes for the party's performance in the coming ACT elections.
I think the Liberal Party did all that it could to generate some form of backlash against the light rail. We saw more advertising in this city, I think, than we've ever seen before from the Liberal Party, and what we've seen is a Liberal Party vote that's failed to move forward. Labor
predicts Australia will return to the polls later this year. Vote counting is expected to continue into next week. Harry Frost, Win News.
The ACT Electoral Commission says the Animal Justice Party has been officially registered for the Legislative Assembly election. There are now 10 parties registered for the election, including the 2 major parties and the ACT Greens, while the Flux Party and the Canberra Community Voters are still within a waiting period for public objection. The Commission says registrations are still open, with parties wishing to register requiring at least 100 members. The ACT goes to the polls on October 15. Stay with us. After the break, a striking portrait with a story to tell goes on show at Canberra Airport. And be prepared for a Scouts spectacular stage show. You're watching the Friday edition of Win News. A stunning portrait that was an Archibald Prize finalist has joined a growing collection of artworks at Canberra Airport. The face in the painting is Olympic snowboarder Tora Bright. It's by Thredbo artist Zoe Young, who grew up ski racing with Tora in the Snowy Mountains.
It just looks so beautiful, and I haven't seen the painting for a while, and I never could have imagined in my wildest dreams that this painting would end up in such a wonderful space. So it's an absolute honour. The painting is acrylic and rosewater on ply. Diabetics are being warned to treat even small cuts on the hands and feet because of a high risk of amputation. In New South Wales alone, surgeons make 3 limb removals a day on patients with diabetes. Time for Friday Sport with Tim Robinson and a boost for AFL in Queanbeyan.
That's right, Jeff. We'll tell you more next. Plus, Central Coast Mariners defender Storm Rue lends his support to a lucky team at the Kanga Cup. Branko Lee and Jack Whiten have given the Raiders' Indigenous jersey the thumbs up ahead of Monday's clash against the Cowboys. Both players excited to have another chance to represent their heritage. The Canberra Gunners will be out to continue their climb up the ladder when they play host to Sandringham in round 14 of the Seabull. After a mixed start to the season, the side has found its form in recent weeks, recording 5 straight wins to move into third on the Eastern Conference ladder. Sandringham heads into the clash fresh off a win over Ballarat. Tip-off is at 7 at Belconnen Basketball Stadium tomorrow. Jeff, that is all for Friday Sport.
Thanks for your help this week. OK, the weekend weather details with Corinne May are coming up next.
Good evening. Well, the weekend is looking partly cloudy with light winds. We could see some frost on Sunday morning. I'll have the details in just a moment. Tonight's viewer photo, this is thanks to Miriam Phillips, who took this interesting shot of cloud cover in the capital. If you have a photo you'd like to share, just email weather@wintv.com.au or you can send it to me on Twitter. Temperatures today, now Sydney dropped to 12 degrees, 15 was the top, 13 the minimum for Wollongong, Nowra 15 the top today, and Ulladulla reaching 14 degrees. Maruya dropped to 11, 13 was the maximum today, and Bega just 9 degrees to start the day. Cooma 3 degrees this morning, 2 for Bombala and Jindabyne, -2 degrees for Perisher and the same for Thredbo. Now Goulburn reaching 11 degrees, 5 the minimum for Yass, Gungahlin 3 degrees this morning, the same for Canberra and Queanbeyan, and Braidwood reaching 10 degrees today. Checking the charts, there's cloud over the slopes and ranges. An upper level trough is triggering some showers. Cloud with a low pressure trough is generating showers over the coast as well. A low over the central Tasman Sea is moving slowly east while a high pressure ridge builds across eastern Australia. The next cold front, though, is expected to cross the state early next week. The ACT, it's looking partly cloudy tomorrow. Snow possible above 1,700 metres, also light winds. Canberra dropping to 2 degrees in the morning, just a possible shower. Tuggeranong, you're heading for a top of 14 degrees tomorrow. 14 the top for Queanbeyan, 4 degrees, possible rain for Yass tomorrow. Could see a shower for Goulburn, heading for a top of 13 degrees. The Snowy Mountains, partly cloudy, snow possible above 1,700 metres, increasing above 1,800 metres by daybreak. Areas of fog in the southeast at night. Light winds tomorrow, Perisher dropping to -3, 5 the maximum. Could see a shower for Cooma, 0 for that minimum. Thredbo dropping to -3, a possible morning snow, possible shower for Jindabyne, -1, and Bombala dropping to 1 degree. The south coast, and it's looking partly cloudy tomorrow. Areas of fog at night, mainly in the south. We have light winds. Ulladulla, a shower or 2, a top of 17 degrees. Bega dropping to 3 and a top of 17 for tomorrow. Could see a shower as well. Sunrise, we can expect that at 12 minutes past 7 tomorrow morning, and sunset 6 minutes past 5. Here's the outlook for the next 7 days. 14 degrees, a possible shower. It's looking cloudy on Sunday, getting down to 2 degrees before we see a bit of a reprieve to those cooler temperatures on Monday morning. Just 6 degrees for that minimum, 4 for Tuesday morning, before we start to see a return to those chilly minimum temperatures from about midweek. -1 on Wednesday. It's looking partly cloudy. Sunshine towards the end of next week, but those minimums dropping to -4 degrees. So just a possible shower for tomorrow.
Corinne, enjoy your weekend. And that is Win News for Friday the 8th of July. To view some of our reports, visit the Win News Canberra Facebook page. I'm Jeff Phillips. Stay with us now for The Project until 6 on Monday. Good night.